Welcome to Season 3 of John McGivern's Main Streets.
I'm having a baby on a boat!
The Main Streets podcast takes you behind the scenes of this popular TV program. As we explore great communities across the Midwest on the show each week, you can come here to get the inside scoop from host John and Emmy and the Main Streets producer and director Lois Maurer. Listen in as they recount some of their favorite memories from filming and the interesting stories that you won't find anywhere else. We've got lots to share with you from John McGivern's Main Street Season 3. To watch the show, check your local listings. It's also available to stream on the free PBS video app on Roku, Apple TV, and other digital devices, smart TVs, and everywhere you stream TV. John McGivern's Main Streets is produced by Plum Media in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Episode 8. You remember what episode 8 is, you guys?
Sure, Decorah.
Iowa?
Some Norwegian heritage,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Decorah, Iowa. Mm-hmm. It was lovely.
It was lovely. Before we talk about Decorah, shout out to our fan of the week, you guys. His name is Gary Wisner or Weisner. I don't know which, but he is from our hometown of Milwaukee. Hey, Gary, thanks for listening.
Thanks, Gary.
Now, Decorah.
Decorah.
I loved this town.
You did?
I thought it was so charming, so eclectic, just
So babysitters on hand for your children because your parents came and your kids came.
maybe that's why it was so
I
delightful.
think so.
It was just that cute small town where you kind of feel like you just went back to Mayberry.
Yeah, yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Main Street was like that, too. Mm-hmm. We got into a jeweler, which you go to any of these smaller communities, and they're one of the oldest places on Main Street usually, and you can tell by the neon jeweler sign
Yep.
is the jeweler, and we got into that guy.
Clock fixer.
Clock fixer.
Right, and those are the ones we walk by and say, oh my goodness, what's going to happen, right?
Right.
Because those guys are all like 70, 80 years old. But boy, he was a charmer.
And all very honest.
Completely honest, he told me that my watch was a piece of crap.
He didn't care
said-
that you're a celebrity.
I
He
said, but it's an Indiglo. Timex.
And then he takes him over to the case and he's like, look, here's what you really need to be considering.
But I have, like you can tell from across the room what time it is, right?
Right.
I have big hands because this is the watch that I wear on stage when I know that I have to be out of there in 45 minutes so that I can look at it without anybody knowing that I'm looking at my watch.
Right.
So this is the watch.
Until you turn the Indiglo on.
the Indiglo. Oh, there it is. Look.
See?
Ooh, that is
Yeah.
fancy.
But he wasn't having any of it.
He wasn't.
He wanted
Joe
me to
was
buy
like, okay, that's a
Seiko.
piece of crap, John.
And it was one of those where you thought, oh, this is going to be a dry. He had a great sense of humor.
Totally.
His wife wanted nothing to do with anything. She was like, not me, not on this one. No, thank you, sir.
She wanted to talk to me about quilting, though.
Right. Right. And the name, what was the name of that place again?
Hamill
It was
Jewelers.
Hamill Jewelers. Joe Hamill was his
Yeah,
name.
it
Been
was
in the
so
business
awesome.
his whole life. And again, what will happen?
Yeah,
What will
we
happen
asked
to
him
this?
that.
So
He said,
no
"I don't know."
kids to pass the business on to.
No kids that want to do it.
Right.
This is my favorite. That's number 2 of the Frank Sinatra series. I'm wearing a Seiko.
You are?
Yeah.
So you don't sell Timex here?
Not sober.
It was really fun. He was really a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a quintessential Main Street business. But the big thing on Main Street in Decorah is a place called Vesterheim. Do you remember what it means, John? Vesterheim.
tight.
Not tight. Western home.
Wester Ho?
Home. Western home.
Westward
That's a
Ho. I
different
was like, what?
podcast.
It's their
Western
Western
home.
home because they came from Norway and this was their Western home and they called it Vesterheim.
Vesterheim.
Yes, and so what Vesterheim is the keeper of all history and tradition in Decorah.
You went and did some Norwegian dancing, did you not?
I did.
Right.
Yeah.
So
In
you
preparation for Nordic Fest, which is a festival they have. You know, we don't really cover festivals in our show, but we covered the Nordic dancers because they happened to be practicing that night. So they were practicing the night before, and we got to talk to the woman who's the president of Nordic Fest's club, if you will. And
Did you dress in costume?
I wish.
Oh, okay.
no, if we would have thought ahead a little bit further, that would have been fun.
They
because
probably
you
would have
that.
let me.
Yeah.
And I would have liked that. But no, oh man.
It's the kids. These are kids that dance.
And
you got up with them.
Everyone puts their chairs out, and it's a big, big community thing. Remember, we got
called
there
lawn
early,
chair
and we're
night.
like, "Where's the stage?" It's just like literally like
It's the
one
street.
house.
Yeah, yeah. They gather at this one house that's privately owned, and the owner just lets them use their electricity and come, get dressed in there and stuff. And then the event is held right on the street, and it's right across from the courthouse, which has a hill. So people sit on the hill, they sit in their lawn chairs, or they sit on their blankets, and it's called Lawn Chair Night. And it happened to be going on while we were there, and so it just kind of all came together. Now, I knew better than to ask John McGivern to do some Nordic dancing.
Because she knows me.
And the look
Hey.
on your face now tells me I was right.
I wouldn't do it.
So-
and it was after hours.
Yeah, it was like
Sure,
5
'cause
o'clock.
you started early. That was the day I got there. So that was the first thing. And I was so excited. I had the cutest dang hat, and I showed up, and do you know what she did? She
Took the
took
hat
one
off.
look at my hat, and she's like,
No.
we're not going to be able to see your face. I was like, but it
Because
matches the
it's
belt. And
shadows.
it's like a whole theme I have going. And she's like,
No.
no, she doesn't care.
I don't, you know what? I am
Cares
looking
about
out
television.
for you. I am looking out for you. People want to see your eyes, Emmy. They
You
want
know
to
what?
see your...
After I did the dancing, and I didn't realize I was going to be going up and under the arms, and round and round we go, and all this thing. The hat would have never made it. So you did me a favor.
Okay, good.
I think. But it's cool. It was high school dancers, but then the junior dancers, and to see them like all together.
And your daughter Leona came and danced.
Oh, they invited her out. That was like one of those like core memories that I will have always.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. What I really liked.
As I have a few tears in my eyes. McGivern's back eating his microwavable dinner, enjoying his time alone.
People may be surprised that my favorite thing was a woman who has a business. Her name is Stacy. She has a business cleaning cemetery stones,
Yeah.
gravestones.
Yeah.
I had
that-
no idea that was something.
She started
did.
this business kind of by accident. She was visiting a cemetery where there was some stones that they were looking for, and it was covered in muck and gross, and so she was cleaning it off, and somebody saw her doing it and said, hey, will you come clean these over here? Oh, hey, would you come over here? And she ended up starting and developing a chemical system, right?
Right.
And she ended up like, I don't know if she's patented or not, but she sells the stuff. But what people really want is for you to do it for them. So she goes and she knows how to preserve these stones and to bring them back to new. And you think to yourself, okay, this is lichen. Okay, do you know what lichen is? It's that green, mossy stuff that
Oh,
grows
sure.
on something.
Okay.
And she takes the spray bottle and sprays it. And John is thinking, oh my God, this is going to take forever. This is going to be. And
It was the most gratifying from ick to fabulous.
And you love that.
Oh, you have no idea.
I love that
Instant
too.
gratification.
I love that
It
too.
was like we sprayed it, we
Yeah.
scraped it, we sprayed it, we washed it, we sprayed it, and by the time we left, the stone looked brand new. It was amazing.
Oh, I love a good
I have
makeover.
been to 5 cemeteries. Since doing, I'm like, I don't know.
With
who's
your
this-
spray
I was
bottle.
going to say, do you at least know the people on the stones, John?
It makes me want to visit cemeteries, though. And she had some real good advice around what you use and what you don't use and what you need to do. And you should Google and realize what's not good for this stone and what's porous and what's not, and marble and not. And
I was going
she
to say, all those stones are made of different materials, so
They
it must
are.
be, what does she come out like locked and loaded with all of her
She's got
spray
a
bottles?
cart. She's got her cemetery cart that she pulls out of her big minivan. It was heaven.
Oh my gosh.
I loved it. It was great.
It was peaceful. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Peaceful.
And
Yep.
she was just really lovely. So that was fun. That's not a story I've ever uncovered anywhere else in 15 years, John. One thing that's in Decorah that you will find is seed savers. They are if you are any kind of a master gardener or any gardener at all, they have a seed bank there that you don't think about. You think, oh my gosh, to have one of every seed and they're heirloom seeds. it's like the size of a small U-Haul, isn't it? And it's got millions of seeds in there that they store and keep. And everywhere in this country, people will get their seeds from seed savers because they're tested. They grow them there first. When we went, there was gardens growing with all this heirloom either produce or flowers. They grow it all.
Flowers, mostly.
It was awesome. I loved it.
Did you get to go on a tour there?
A tour?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
You did. You got to see it all.
See, I think most every seed.
That is John's way of saying this one took forever.
It took forever.
It did, but we had the founder to talk to. She was
great.
terrific. Then we wanted to go into the store because people can go there, and I'm telling you, if you're
Then we
any
wanted
kind
to
of
go
a
to another
gardener-
garden to talk to somebody who is development director, and then we went to the actual seed bank where the guy who runs the bank. All of it, I can't wait to see what that all turns into segment-wise.
Yep.
Because when you're in the middle of all of it, you're
And it
like,
was
what
100. I do have
can
to
we
say it
use?
was
And
100
hot.
degrees.
And
Yeah.
it was the last of our day as well.
Okay.
So
Are you noticing a theme? The last of the day segment seems to be John's
there's
least
a 4 o'clock
favorite.
when the one eyelid goes closed.
You know why? Because you don't have to be anywhere afterwards. So mine's just roam. You just set a timer, and then you get out of there.
Okay,
Next season.
next season, let's try that.
Do you know what did not take long, but it's piggybacking off of the seed savers, was the high school garden that we got to visit.
Wasn't that fun?
I wanted to leave there and leave the show and become a teacher there at that school to help teach kids not only like the love of gardening, which I love. My mom and dad do so much and taught my sisters and I that, and now we do it with our kids. But it was just so cool that the kids get to help plant the kale and plant the beets and then actually have it in their lunch. And so many schools, that's just, gosh, when I went to school, there was like these cute old, probably Aunt Agnes and all these wonderful ladies that made like the hot lunch fresh. It's
Yeah.
not like that anymore.
Right.
And at least in Decorah, they're getting these great nutritious vegetables from their own garden that they get
Right.
to go out as a class and then bring back in and then get on their plate for lunch. I absolutely loved it.
Do they grow cookies?
No, no, sir.
Then John would have loved it.
Only Whole Foods.
We went to a great supper club
Tell me
yeah.
about it.
over the river and through the woods. Remember the way there? It was like, wait, where is this place? And he was such a not only great chef, but a great showman. Like he showed us everything. His one appetizer, do you remember what it was?
Yes. It's got a name. Oh, come on. It's a Filipino
It's
name.
a Filipino egg roll is
Yes.
what it is.
But what was the name of it?
You got me. Can't remember.
Oh, I can't remember either, but it was delicious.
Delicious.
And he was the first chef I have ever seen, at least for our show, make bananas Foster tableside. Do you remember?
Flambe.
Fire. It was so cool.
My eyebrows are now growing in.
Just a
Like,
little
got a little close to that.
singe. Yowza. Can we just mention really the hardships that sometimes happen on the show?
Oh, what? Did you have a hardship? I don't remember.
No,
Well,
you
not
did.
me, but you and Gail and Brian, when we got part of the way home. And
Okay, this is not a hardship. This is stupidity.
No, this is
Well, it's
both.
hard. It's hard.
It was hard for
stupid.
you. You have no idea. But we were in Decorah the last day. What happens is Emmy and John shoot their stuff together in the morning.
In the
So
morning.
you guys do your thing. And then John leaves. And then we finish up with Emmy. So she's got stand-ups to do on her own. And so then we finish that up. We have to check out of the hotel that morning by 8 a.m. So this is one hotel that Emmy was not staying with her family at that hotel. Do you remember? So your mom and dad were leaving. So everybody was leaving the hotel.
Right.
And
right.
we had thought, well, we're not going to put the luggage in Emmy's car because her parents were driving it. Normally, we check out of the hotel, we put all the luggage in Emmy's car. So when we're done,
We're all
and we
together.
have to drop her off, she gets in her car and goes, hey, get all this stuff out of my car. Well, this one was just, we were out of our routine. We were not thinking
Right.
the same way. So we had our luggage stored at the hotel in the office so that when we stopped back there, well, here's the problem. We never stopped back there because Emmy's parents were gone and we met up someplace else to drop her off.
Right, but at least it was over an hour from Decorah.
Prairie du Chien.
So we drove
Right.
home. We were
Good
driving
memory.
home. We got all the way to Prairie du Chien. We're going into the quick trip, and all of a sudden, Gail, out of absolutely nowhere, gets this look on her face, and she goes, "Oh my God, you guys!" And I thought like there was something like in the car. You know, you're just like, "Is there what's
not in
happening?
the car.
Am I shooting something? What is happening?" And she just looked at us and she goes, "Our luggage is in the hotel," and we were just like, "This has never happened before." You feel so stupid.
Weren't you so happy I wasn't there?
Oh, I don't think I told you for 2 days. I was like, I can't even tell him.
I would have gotten out of the car and hitched home. I would have said, I don't care about those clothes. I don't care about anything in there. We're not going back.
Oh, but and we had to go back because we had stuff in our bags that was work related. You know, like Gail had extra batteries in there, and it's not just your hair dryer you're worried about. It's like, oh my God, I have my extra drives in there. Oh.
Lesson learned. And
It was a good community. The only thing we didn't talk about was where do you go to get your thermoses? Where do you go to get your...
Oh, the coolers.
The
place.
coolers was
Yeah.
a great place. It was called Iowa Rotocast Plastics, and the guy
Which
Chad,
I said they need a really better name with cooler in it because
do.
that's what they make. I was
They
like,
do.
Rotocast
Yeah.
Plastics. But they had, do you remember they had coolers there from the size of that you as a consumer would take with you, like a smaller, you know, kind of a cooler, to something that you could literally store bodies
drive into.
in. Yes.
It's a cooler.
what do you put in there? I don't want to know what you put in there.
Oh,
actually.
you remember what he told you people put in there?
Bodies.
No.
No.
Well, yes, but
Yeah.
of,
like
not of
live
humans.
organs that are being transplanted?
Well, how big are those organs?
Well, you're right. It would be a smaller cooler.
I have a big heart, but not that big, Emmy. No, they think about hunters.
Right.
They will put their whole deers
Right.
in there to bring
Right.
them back to have them. And I'm like, wow, this cooler would have taken up the entire back of the bed
Right.
Wow.
in a truck. So, but that was pretty cool to see how they make them, you know. Different.
Decorah,
sizes.
Iowa. Never been. If I get a chance, I'll go back. You too,
For
you guys?
sure. Absolutely.
Great. Good talking.
Want to wear something that's going to support your favorite show? Shop at Main Street Store. Proceeds go to help us get next season into production, so come on, go shopping at mainstreets.tv.